Hello friends, today I am going to demonstrate the methodology that I have discussed in my last video lecture, that is the measures of location. How do we compute given a set of numbers, and I am going to demonstrate it using a software called R, which is a free software for statistical computing that comes with no warranty, and you are most welcome to redistribute it. And it is developed by the R Foundation for Statistical Computing. So to know more about R and what it does, all you have to do is to go to the Google and just write in the capital word R, and here you can see R project for statistical computing. If you click here, then you will find all about R, and you can download the software from itself, and it has an archive called CRAN. So CRAN is a set of servers, located in various parts of the world. You can access these servers and then download whatever package you need. Okay, so let us come back to the R platform. Here you can have R has many different forms of data sets that are already stored here. So if you just give data R, so you can see a list of a list of data sets that are already stored there. So for example, if we look at the last data set, women, so this considers the average height and weight for American women. So let us just type, okay, women here, WOMEN. So this is a data set. So this is a very small data set. So height and weight, the source of the data is not mentioned here. So let us just look at the weights. Okay, so let me store these weights, women. Now $, weight, WEIGHT. So if you write this, then it will give you the weights, as you can see. So this is in a matrix format. So you write down the name of the data set, then give a $, and then write down the column name, then it will extract that column. So now I will demonstrate MEAN, mean of X. So it has calculated the average. If you want to verify whether it is doing correctly or not, sum of X is 2051. So add all these numbers. How many numbers are there? Let me store it in LENGTH, length of X. Length of X is how many number is stored in X. So in R, everything is stored as an array. Whenever you have a data set, it will be stored in some kind of an array structure. So here when you could extract only one column or one row, then that is a one-dimensional array, and here the length of this array is n. So if you see, sum of X is the sum of all the elements in X, and length is the number of elements in X. So if you divide sum of X by n, then this is what I get. So this is the mean of X. Now remember, for everything else, the median, the percentiles, the quartiles, I need to sort the numbers. Now R is a very smart platform for computing, because it allows you to do sorting just with one command. So SORT, sort X. So everything would be sorted in increasing order by default. So I am storing it in another array Y. So here Y is in increasing order. Now this is all the same, because here the data is already sorted, so there is no problem. So this is one and the same. Now you see whether if I take the mean of Y, will it be any different? No, because when you add numbers in whatever order you add, that does not matter. So when you take the sorted data or unsorted data, the mean will, the sum, the length, these parameters are going to be the same. Now suppose I want to find any percentile. So I will have to define what is P. So let us take P is equal to 0.5, that is 50th percentile. By the way, what is the 50th percentile? If you remember, 50th percentile will represent the number such that 50% of the data does not exceed it. That is, it is the median. So now or the middlemost value. So now what I will do is take y because this is a sorted data. Now what R makes very flexible is that from this vector, if you want to extract something, it will enable you to do this just by giving the condition within the third bracket after the, if you write the name of the vector or the array. So here I will write floor n into p plus 1. So why floor? Floor means a natural number which is just less than or equal to np, and if you add 1 to floor, then this will be the next natural number. So ideally for any real valued number n into p, it will be contained between the floor and the floor plus 1. So that is the third bracket symbol in my note. So what I am doing is I am computing the pth percentile here. Just sort the numbers and do this. You see 135. Let us check. 135, how many numbers? So now suppose I want to check how many numbers in the data are actually less than 135. So this is also very simple. You give the length command. If you just give length of y, then you know it is 15, because there are 15. Now suppose you want to verify how many of these 15 numbers are actually less than 135. So length of y, but again on the vector y, you are giving the condition that how many of these numbers are less than 135. So this is the flexibility of R. You don't need to, so it is giving 7. So roughly 7 numbers are less than it, and 7 numbers naturally will be more than it. So if I give greater than 135, then you will see 7. So in that sense, this is the median. So there are 15 numbers here. 7 numbers are below 135 and 7 numbers are above it. So it is the middlemost value. So now suppose I want to compute the 90th percentile. So P is equal to 0.9. So imagine the flexibility of R. If you would have had to do it using some basic programming language, then you would have to write a code, right? Using the for condition, the for loop, that you where if you have to put conditions like if this is satisfied or not. So here R gives you the flexibility to find out just like that. Give an array, with write down the name of the array, within the third bracket give the condition, it will extract those elements of the array which satisfies that condition. So then now I am getting P is equal to 0.9, that is I am computing the 90th percentile. What I will have to do, I don't have to write everything here, just get the command y floor n into 5 plus 1. So now 159. Now let us again check how many numbers are less than 159. There is a 13. So 13 number are less than, so 13, if I see the percentage by n is the number, so you see 0.86 roughly, so it's close to 0.9. So 90% of when you have small number of observations, so this will not be the exact, because you see, okay, so let us do this. This is less than or equal to 1.59. Then you say it's 0.93, because one number plus you consider 159 or not, that will make the difference. So the idea is that 90th percentile is such a number, such that roughly 90% of the numbers should not be more than this, less than or equal to this number. Okay. Now you will see that whether you consider 159 or not, there is a difference here. Less than 159, less than equal to, there is a difference, but roughly this, if you square up, then both these numbers are close to 0.9. Now this difference will become smaller and smaller as you have more and more data. With lesser data, this difference will look a lot pronounced whether you consider 159 or not, but when you have large number of data, that does not make much of a difference. Anyway, so we have seen how easy it is to compute the percentiles, median, percentiles and mean. So now finally let me talk about the trimmed mean. So when we talk about trimmed mean, what happens is that you have to decide what portion of the data you are going to trim. That means trim mean is the average of numbers which you retain after deleting certain portion of the data from both ends. So suppose I decide that okay, I am going to delete 5% of numbers from both ends. So what I will define, so my lower limit L will become a floor of n star p plus 1. So this will give me 5, right? So sorry, it will give me the 5%, and the upper limit u would be equal to n minus L plus 1. So now these are the boundaries. So L is my 1 and u is my 15. So the smallest and the largest observations will be trimmed and rest will be averaged. Why? Because your n is see 15. So if you take 5% of that, and so 5% of that, so n into 0.05 kitna hota hai? This is 0.75. Of course, if you take the nearest number to that is 1. So therefore we are trimming 1 from both end. So now we have to just say mean. So see, this is the flexibility of our mean. Why? What is y? The sorted value from where to where? From L plus 1 to n, sorry, to u minus 1. So sorry, okay, sorry. So this is L and this is U. So mean y L to U. Now from, if you want a vector, if you want to extract some elements of the vector, then you have to specify from where to where, and this is how you do it. So you are doing this on the sorted number, so this will give. Now in this case you see it is same as turning out to be same as the mean, because since the number of observation is small, so L is same as the minimum value and u is same as the maximum, that is 15. But let us take some more data. So suppose I generate a set of numbers x are norm. So this is a process. So this is basically what the commands do to compute the mean, median and trimmed mean. Now when the number of observations are small, then sometimes you will see some difference in whether you include this number or not, like in the computation of the median when you are seeing hot, and here in computation of the trim mean. But this will not make any difference when you have large amount of data. So suppose I am generating 100 numbers from something called a normal distribution that you will later see. So here you see the mean x is this, okay. But now, so y is sort x, sort x. So now let us see, if I do this command, mean is now n is equal to length of x, and now you have got L equal to this, and u equal to this, and now it will run out in 15 minutes. So I hope I am able to complete. So now you give mean of this, finished, paste. So you can do this for yourself. So now you see the difference. So mean is 0.013 and the trimmed mean is 0.03. So you can see the numbers for yourself, u, L to u. So what is the length of this length of this vector L to U